Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. And AWS has updated its UI and there are some new changes to the user interface for its AWS management console. So that is what we are going to discuss today, and I'm going to show you how you can create your free tier account with the updated UI. We will discuss about how we can create users and user group, and as well setting up the budget. So if you are new to this channel, then please make sure that you subscribe and hit the like button if you did like the video. So let's get started. So if you want to create your free tier account, you can just go to Google and you can type create free tier account, and you can also mention AWS, but that's what is going to come up on the screen for you. So here, as you can see, we have a couple of options here. So if you can see, we have free cloud computing service, AWS free tier. So if you want, you can just click on this. And here you will get the screen or the page which will show you like AWS free tier, gain free hands-on experience with the AWS platform, products and services. So if you want, you can create a free tier account from here itself. So there is a button here, you can just click on this. If you already have an account, then it will ask you to log in using the root user or the IAM user. But as I'm going to show you how we can create a new user or the new account, I can just click on create a new AWS account. So once you click on this, you have to fill in the details for your email address. You have to give it a new password. You can use the same password again to confirm the password, and you can give a user-friendly name that you want for your AWS account. So that is the first step. And as you can see, we have step 1 of 5. That means that there are 5 steps that we are going to use and we are going to actually go into, and we'll be creating a free tier account. Next, once you have clicked on this, you can enter the full name of your personal account. So here you can see you have the option like how do you plan to use AWS. So is it going to be for your business purpose, for your work, school or organization, or it can be your personal for your own projects. So as this is a personal project that we are going to work on, so I'm just choosing the option for personal, and you can also do the same. And there is a form that you have to fill. So it is asking who should we contact about this account. So give your full name here, enter the phone number that you wish to enter, and that should be valid because AWS might contact you in case if there is any problem with your account, so they can use the same number itself. And basically you can enter the country or region that you are from. You can enter India or US based on where you are from, and you can enter the address that you have, and then the city, then the state, and then the postal code. And you can click on this checkbox that you have. I have read and agreed to the terms of AWS custom agreement, and you can just click on continue to the step number 2. Now it is going to ask you for the billing information, where you have to enter your credit card details or the debit card number that you have. So this is not going to charge you anything, but it'll just, as you can see, AWS what is trying to say is like we will not charge you for the usage below AWS free tier limits. We may temporarily hold up to $1 or an equivalent amount in local currency. So if suppose you are in India, so your currency that you have or our currency that we have is Indian rupees, so it might hold up to the value of $1 as a pending transaction for 3 to 5 days to verify your account or identity. So based on that, you can just enter your credit card details, and here they will not be charging anything apart from this, just for verification. But anything that you make use of, and if it does exceed the free tier amount or the free tier limits, then only you will be charged. So you can enter your credit card details here. You can enter the expiration date, month and year. Then you have to enter the cardholder's name, the CVV, and then the billing address. And if you do have a PAN card, then you can also give that. And then you can click on verify and continue. And then it will ask you for your identity confirmation. So before you can use your AWS account, you must verify your phone number. When you continue, the AWS automated system will contact you with a verification code. So how should we send you the verification code? So there are 2 options here available to us. So either you can send a text message, that is a SMS, or you can actually opt for the voice call. So they'll be calling you and they'll be giving you the verification code. So based on your country or region code, you can enter like US is +1, or if it is in India, it will be +91. and you can enter the phone number and you can enter the security code here, and it will provide you with the verification code. So once you have filled in all the information and you have clicked on continue, it will ask you for the verification code. So you can confirm your identity by entering the verification code that is sent by AWS. So here, if you are not getting any verification code, you can return to the previous page and try again, because sometimes it takes up to 10 minutes to retrieve a verification code. So don't worry about it. If you actually don't get the verification code, you can just go back and try again. So here I will just enter the verification code and I'll move it to the next step, that is the step number 5. Yeah. So the next step that you see here is the last step. So sign up for AWS. So select a support plan. So basically, as we are in the free tier, we don't want to have the developer support or the business support because our requirements are not that high. So paying $29 per month or $100 per month does not make sense for us. But if you do have such requirements, you can go ahead with this. But for now, for the free tier, we can just go with the basic support. So here you can see there are 4 points mentioned. So recommended for new users just starting with AWS. So we are the ones who are just starting with AWS. So that's a correct requirement for us. And you get 24/7 self-service access to AWS resources for account and billing issues only, and access to personal health board and trusted advisor. So this is something that you have to remember, that AWS has different support plans that you can use. So basically, if you're working in an organization, so you will be having business support or enterprise level support. So currently we don't need this. So you can just select basic support, that is for free, and you can complete the sign up. So congratulations, you have created your free tier account. So we are activating your account, which should only take a few minutes. You will receive an email when this is completed. So now just click on go to the AWS Management Console. Okay, that's great. So welcome to AWS Web Services. So thank you for creating an AWS or Amazon Web Services account. We are activating your account, which should take only a few minutes. You will receive an email when this is completed. So here you can personalize your experience. So fill in the blanks below to receive recommendations catered to your role and interest. So my role that I have is basically software developer or engineer, and I am interested in learning and certification. So I will just click on learning and certification. Where did it go? Okay, yeah, here it is. Okay, then we are good here. So my role is software developer and engineer, and I am interested in learning and certification, and I have clicked on submit. So yes, thank you. So now you have created your AWS account. So the next thing that you have to do is you have to log into the management console. So the first time when you're trying to log in, it'll be your root account that you'll be using to log in, because you don't have any IAM users that you have created within your account. So this is the part which you have to be very careful about, because there are no IAM users created yet for your account, and you have the login for your root user, and always logging in with the root user is not that secure. So make sure that you use this initial step to create your IAM users and use that IAM user to work on the AWS resources. So let me just quickly log into the AWS Management Console. Okay, so once you have logged in, this is where it is going to show you that AWS has a new console home. So there are a lot of services that have got a new UI to improve your console home experience. So we will be using the new console home, and we will be trying to do the demos, because if you're new to AWS and if you're trying to learn AWS from now, then you might be using the new UI. And if there are any changes to the ones that we had previously, then you might get confused with the courses that we have. So I just wanted to show you the way that we have here with the new AWS console. So let's click on switch to the new AWS console or the console home. Click on this, switch to the new console home, and this is what we get. So here, previously, if you were on the AWS Management Console, it would show you the list of services that were already there. And now if you see, we have a recently visited page, and below that you have the AWS Health and the cost and usage matrix. So currently we don't have any such data available to us because this is a fresh account. So for now, what we are going to do is we are going to set up the budget That's the very important part, because that's something that will let us know if we are exceeding the budget that we have set, and that will help us save any amount of cost or price that we are going to incur. So here we have the billing dashboard. You can click on that. So there's the billing dashboard. So you get the bills here. You have the orders and invoices. We don't have anything right now. You have the credit section. We don't have anything as of now here. Last 6 months, no data available to us. We don't have any cost and usage reports, cost categories. You can also look into that. So this is the place. So once you see here, we have under cost management, we have cost explorer and budgets. So you have to click on budgets, and here you get the page where it will allow you to set the budget. So set custom budgets that alert you when you exceed your budgeted thresholds. So this is very important for a new user for AWS, because we may never realize what and how we are creating the resources initially. So if you exceed your free tier limits for any of the resources that you're creating, then you will be charged. So you need to know about what and how much you are being charged with. So creating a budget is always helpful. And in order to do that, you need to click on create a budget. And you can see that option on the right hand side. There is a button there. You can just click on that. So once you're here, you can choose a budget type, because we don't have any budgets already assigned to us or created for us. It is just showing us the one recommended cost budget that we can add. So just click on next. So once you click on next, it will allow you, or it will give you a form where you can set up your budget. So how to set up your budget? So you can set up a budget amount, then scope your budget, that is optional, and enter in remaining budget details. That is a step 3. The first thing that we have to do is we have to give the budget name. So you can give here any name that you want. I'll just give Pythoholic budget. Then I want to set the period of my budget to be monthly, because I want to be informed monthly. So daily budgets do not support enabling forecasted alerts or daily budgeting plans. So for now, I'll just set for monthly. Then the budget renewal type is a recurring. So recurring budgets renew on the first day of every monthly billing period. And there is one more option for expiring budget. So expiring monthly budgets stop renewing at the end of the selected expiration month. So I don't want to keep it for now. It's a 1 year period for me. So I can just keep it for recurring now, and I can just proceed further. And if you feel like you want to end it for a particular month, then you can keep the expiring budget. There is no hard and fast rule in this, and you can experiment on this as well. As I have created this recently, so it is showing me February 22. That's a start month. And here there is a budgeting method. So if you see the budgeting method here, so create a budget that tracks a single monthly budgeted amount. So I want a fixed amount to be tracked monthly. So I will be using that particular option. So I can just enter the monthly amount that I have, $0.10. And you have to remember that the amount that you enter here is in dollars. So my budgeted amount that I'm keeping is $0.10. $0.10 in rupees, it's going to be around 8 rupees. So 7.5 rupees. So that should be fine for us now. And we have the budgeting scope. So there are 2 scopes here, all AWS services, or you can actually filter specific AWS cost dimensions. So you can actually set up budget for like specific services like EC2 or Lambda or the services that you are currently using. But what AWS recommends is you can track for all the costs incurred across all the services that you have. So that's what we are going to use also. So that's what I'm going to choose, and I have already selected all AWS services. That is a recommended one, and I'll go with that. And on the advanced options, I have unblended cost. So it is giving me the options for the supported charge types as upfront reservation fees, recurring reservation charges, other subscription costs, taxes, support charges, and discounts. So whatever it is, what are the charges that I'm getting, it will be captured. And once we have validated everything, we can just click on next. So the next step, or the step number 3, is configure alerts. So alerting is very important, because if you have someone in your life who can tell you that something that you're doing is not right, then you will be alerted and you will stop doing that, isn't it? Similarly, AWS can actually alert you that you are exceeding your threshold amount so that you can take hold of whatever you are doing right now, and you can terminate the resources that you have created, and you can save cost. So this is very important. So your budgeted amount is $0.10. To change your budget amount, go back to step 2. So we don't need that. So, but what we can do is we can add a alert threshold. So no alert thresholds created. Click on add an alert threshold. So I am going to add a threshold value of 80% here, or 90%, and it is going to be 90% of the budgeted amount. And the trigger is, how should this alert be triggered? Actual. So when your actual cost is greater than 90%, that is 0.09 of your budget amount, that is $0.10, the alert threshold will be exceeded. So that is the actual value. And we have a notification preference that is optional, but I want to give my email address so that I'll be notified, and you can give like your friends or someone who is currently using this AWS account their email ID as well, so that they also get the notification. So I'll enter my email ID, and if I want to add another email ID, I can just put a comma and I can add other email IDs as well. So it is comma separated. And if you want, you can add SNS alerts and Amazon chatbot alerts as well, but we are not going to do this right now. We will see that later on, but for now, just click on next. So the next option that we have here is, there is the optional one, attach actions. So a budget action allows you to define and trigger cost saving responses to reinforce a cost conscious culture. You have the option to attach actions that run whenever your threshold has been exceeded, such as stopping an EC2 instance from incurring any further cost. You can select the alerts to which you would like to attach actions, then define these actions. So you can define actions based on what you exactly want. So if suppose most of the time that you're working on the free tier account is by using the EC2 instances, so you can attach action to that. So if it actually breaks the threshold that you have for your budget, it can actually stop the instances. So this is also a very good option, but now I will not be doing it because I don't need it. Just click on next. So now we have all the options set for us. Step 1, step 2, step 3 and step 4. Everything is just fine. Then just click on create budget. Yes. So now our budget is created. So if you can see here, we have Pythoholic budget, the thresholds is okay, budget is 0.10, amount is 000 because we have not created any of the resources yet. Forecasted amount, it's not going to be there because it needs a set of values, or if you like, if it is like 2 or 3 months old, then it'll give you a forecasted value based on your usage pattern. Okay, so now that we have set up our budget, the next important thing for us is to manage the IAM for the first time, because we are using the root account and we don't want to do that always. So we will be creating a user, as I already promised you, and that's what we are going to do next. So click on the search for services option, and here you will get IAM. Click on that. So type IAM and click on that, and you will go to IAM. So this is basically your identity and access management portal. So this is where you are going to manage all the access and the identity related provisions. So provisioning users, provisioning user groups, creating roles, policies, everything is going to be done from here. And the first thing that you see here, the security recommendation that is going to give us, or it is giving us right now, is add MFA for root user. So enable multi-factor authentication MFA for the root user to improve security for this account. So we are going to do this. So we are going to add the MFA. So how we are going to do it? So just click on add MFA. So once you click on add MFA, you will come to this page, your security credentials. And here you have the option to add the multi-factor authentication. So if you see here, use MFA to increase the security of AWS environments. Signing into MFA protected accounts requires a username, password, and an authentication code from a MFA device. So if you haven't used MFA before, so you can use Google Authenticator. That's what I am going to use. And that is a device which can actually help you generate code which can be used for your multi-factor authentication. So that device or that application can be installed on your mobile phones, and you can make use of it. So if you're working right now in an IT company, you might be using something like a RSA secure code or Okta verification code. So it is similar to this, but you can use your Google Authenticator app, which is free, and it'll give you the code that you want. So if you have to enable this, you can just click on activate MFA. And here it is asking either it could be a virtual MFA device. So that is what we are going to do today, because that is what we are going to use, because as it is mentioned here, Authenticator app installed on your mobile phone or your computer. So that's what we are going to do. And you can also increase the security if you want by using a YubiKey or any other compliant U2F device. So you can use a hardware actually, and you can plug it in your computer and you can use it for your security device, or you can use it for your security because that device comes inbuilt with a security encryption layer. So click on continue. So once you have clicked on continue, so it will ask you to set up a MFA device. So install a compatible app on your mobile device or computer. Use the virtual MFA app and your device camera to scan the QR code. So once you install the Google Authenticator app, you can actually scan a QR code and add a particular authentication mechanism. So for your AWS, you can scan the QR code and it will generate the MFA for you. So here I think we have a list of compatible applications that can be used. So as you can see, we have all the options here for virtual MFA, two-factor security key, hardware display cards. And if you go down, it is giving us the option for the MFA applications for both Android and iPhone. As you can see, we have so many applications here like Authy, Duo Mobile, LastPass Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, Google Authenticator, Semantic VIP. So if you are already using any of these applications, then you're welcome. You can use them. So currently I'm using Google Authenticator. So it works for me. So I'm using it. So you can use it as well. So first you need to install that application on your mobile and you can proceed further. If you don't have it installed, then just install it right now and you can move ahead with the demo. So if you're using Android, once you click on Google Authenticator, this is the application that you need to install. And once you have installed that, you can actually make use of the MFA. So once you have installed the application, you can come back to this page and click on Show QR Code. So this is the QR code that you can scan on your mobile phone and you can actually generate the MFA. So meanwhile, I'll generate the MFA for my root account. And there are two things that you have to remember here. So first you have to install the MFA application, that is the virtual MFA application, that is Google Authenticator. And then once you scan the QR code, you have to wait for 1 minute for the MFA code 1 to generate. And then once it expires, again, there will be a new MFA code that will get generated. I think I'll try to show that as a recording on the right hand side if you are seeing this right now. So if it is there, then it is well and good. You can actually make out like how I'm actually doing this. So once you have entered the MFA code 1, you have to wait for a 1 minute and then it will generate the new one for you. So you can enter that once again. So now I have both my MFA codes entered. So now I can just click on assign MFA. Yes, you have successfully assigned virtual MFA. The virtual MFA will be required during sign-in. So you have to make sure that you have this enabled for your root account, because whenever you try to sign in with your root account, it should have additional security. So MFA gives you one layer of additional security while you log in. And you can see here the device type is virtual and the serial number is already there. And that's what we wanted and we have added it successfully. And if you go back and if you just refresh this once again, now we are good. All the security recommendations have been created. And the next one that you see here, it is already checked or already green, is root user has no active access keys. So using access keys attached to an IAM user instead of the root user improves security. So what AWS tells us is that for IAM user, if you're using an access key, then it is well and good. If you don't have for a root user, then it is just fine and it is just improving your security. So don't worry about creating access keys to programmatically access your AWS account. So not having an active access key for your root account does help you improve the security. And if you can see here, we have IAM resources and there are 2 roles already assigned, and I'm going to show you how we can create a new user. In order to create a new user, you have an option on the left hand side under access management called users. So you can just click on that. So once you click on that, you'll come to this page where you can see we have 0 users. So you can see we have 0 users. And an IAM user is an identity with long-term credential that is used to interact with AWS in an account. Okay, so these ideas that you have, long-term credentials, I know this is not good for security and we are going to discuss on this later on. So if you haven't subscribed already, then please do so. We are going to discuss this IAM portion in length. So in order to create a IAM user, you can just click on add user here. Just click on that. Here you can enter the name of the username that you want to create. So just any random thing that you want, or you can just assign it like I do, like I've created it with admin. And here you can select what access type that you want. So you can select how these users will primarily access AWS. If you choose only programmatic access, it does not prevent users from accessing the console using an assumed role. So make sure that you remember this. And access keys and auto-generated passwords are provided in the last step. So you can select access keys, programmatic access, enables an access key ID and a secret key for the AWS API, CLI, SDK, and other development tools. So here you can actually let the user that you have create the programmatic access by using the access key so that we can make use of the APIs and the CLIs to actually create the resources or work with AWS. So that is a very good thing. And we can also enable a password for this so that we can log into the console. So for my usage, I'll just enable both of them. So once you click on password, AWS Management Console access, so it enables a password that allows users to sign into the AWS Management Console. So here we have an option for the console password. So it is giving us an option for us to actually create an auto-generated password, or you can enter a custom password. So any password that you want it to have, you can enter that. And this option that you see here below requires password reset. You should always uncheck this because the user must create a new password at the next sign again. Users automatically get the IAM user change password policy to allow them to change their own password. So this option is a very boring option when it comes to actually working on free tier accounts, because we don't need that level of security. But yeah, we need that, but I don't think so this is required for now for us, because we are smart enough to have custom passwords for the initial state, and we are always not, and as we are not going to use the root account, as I already told you like 100 times, so we can be assured that this option may not be required for us. But if you want, you can go ahead with this. Every time you try to log in, you will be asked to change your password. So be my guest. So I'll just enter a password of my choice. Now I'll uncheck this option. So now just click on next. Yeah, here we have to set permissions. So for a user to function, it needs permissions. So mostly we are going to discuss this in length later on, but I just want to tell you that if suppose you are working on AWS and if you have a user, it should have a permission associated to the principle of least privileges. So as this is admin, it is going to have the admin privileges. And if it is a developer or a junior developer which just wants to work on EC2, then I can just give him EC2 all access. So it depends on what type of work it is, and based on that you can set the permissions. For now, as this is admin, I'm going to set the admin privileges for this, or permissions for this. And as you can see here, we have 3 options: add user to group. Currently we don't have any group, we can create one. But if you can see, we have copy permissions from existing users. We cannot do that because we don't have any users right now. The third option that you see here, attach existing policies directly. So AWS already has existing policies that you can make use of, and that is what we are going to do today. Just click on that, and here you have a list of policies. Like currently it is showing like 726 results, but there'll be more. And you have, if you see here, we have policy name, and the type that you see here is basically like either AWS managed or job function. So here you can see we have the first one, administrative access. That is what I'm going to give this user, and it'll have administrative privileges to manage the AWS account that I have. And I can just select that, and I'll just show you what exactly it has within that. So if you see here, it provides full access to the AWS services and resources, and within that it has a lot of policies associated to all the AWS services that we have, almost all. And if you click on JSON, you can just see the policy that we have here for this. So if you see here, we have the version statement, it affects as allow, and the action is star resources star. So it can perform all the operations on all the resources. So next we have clicked on next, and here you can add a tag. So I'll add a name tag and I'll give it admin. Next, click on review. So here review your choices that you have already given. So username is admin, AWS access type is programmatic, and AWS management console access. Console password type is custom, requires password reset is no, permission boundary is not set, and managed policy that I have given it or attached it to the user is administrative access, and the tag that I gave was name and the value was admin. Now the last step that we have here is, you can see right now on the bottom itself we have create user option. You can just go ahead and click on that. Okay, congratulations, success, you successfully created the user shown below. You can view and download user security credentials. You can also email users instructions for signing into the AWS management console. This is the last time these credentials will be available to download. However, you can create new credentials at any time. So make sure that you save these information. So users with AWS management console can access or sign in at that particular URL. So based on your account ID, it will be different, or the user ID, it will be different. So you can actually save it. And below, if you can see, we have the username as admin. It has given the access key ID and the secret access key. And you can actually send these instructions via email. So if you see the option here, it is giving us to send an email. So if this user actually belongs to someone else, you can just email them the instructions as well, as you are the admin right now. So that's a good thing for us. So we can just save this information that I have. So you can just click on download.csv and you can save the credentials. Okay, so the user admin or the user admin has been created. So you can see here we have the username admin, groups is none, last activity is never, MFA is none, and password age is there, and active key age is there. So I have not added MFA for this one because I don't need it for now, but I can do that. I can add MFA for this as well, but for now I have not added it. So that's it for today's session. I hope you liked it. So we created a new free tier account for ourselves. We actually created a new IAM user. We enabled the MFA for the root account as well, and I hope you have learned a lot from this one. And we did this with the new UI that we have for AWS, and a lot of you had questions regarding this because you felt like there are a few changes to the UI and that were not in sync with the videos that were already available in our channel. So I thought of making these videos, and I will be making a few more for the demos that we already have for the new UI. So make sure that you have subscribed, and if you like the video, then please do like the video. And if you want any more details regarding this, then you can surely comment that, and I will get back to you with more details on that. And so make sure that you stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll meet you on the next one. Until then, it's Pythoholic signing off.